great pleasure as President of the Shine Coolgardie to welcome you all here today to what is Western Australia's largest open-air mining museum. This is about a culmination of around about 3 years of fairly solid hard work and planning that our staff have gone into the refurbishment of Ben Pryor Park, and what a treat it's turned out to be. And also it's a great pleasure to witness so many people have come along today to witness this event. To get our proceedings underway, I'd like to call on our Coolgardie Elder, Ricky Dimer, to give us a welcome to country. Welcome, Ricky.
Thanks, Malcolm. I'd just like to mention something about poor old Mr. Pryor. Oh, about poor, but he was such a lovely old person, and I grew up knowing him. And when I started high school, we used to live on the outskirts of town up in Toorak Terrace, and I had to ride my bike down, and I always was welcome to leave my bike in his garage. And he was a great friend of my grandfather, my mum, dad, and most of the Aboriginals, you know, throughout Coolgardie and elsewhere as well. And it's a great pleasure that Malcolm has given me the opportunity to do the welcome to country here, and I like to proceed with that there now. And on behalf of the elders and the elders that have passed, and people in waiting who will take over from us who are elders now, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to country. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. I too would like to pay my respects to the elders, the traditional owners and land on which we meet today, a continued connection, land, water and culture. We pay our respects to the past, emerging and present. Special welcome today to Mr. Greg Walker, Mungari General Manager and the Evolution team from Mungari. Welcome to my fellow councillors, Shire CEO James Trail and staff, our local tourism partners, special guests and members of our great community, and also our visitors. Ben Pryor Park contains some extremely rare mining related items dating back to pre-1894, when Coolgardie was the third largest town in the state, following just behind Perth and Fremantle. It is a valuable display of the history, heritage and our identity as the mother of the goldfields. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the story, Ben Pryor arrived in Coolgardie from the wheat belt with his wife and 5 children in 1932. And today we are pleased that his daughter Nancy, grandson Graham and granddaughter Diane, who is interpreting here for us today, have been able to travel from Perth to help us celebrate this day. Nancy will also be signing books that she has written on Ben Pryor's life after the formalities today, so be sure you pick up a book and get her signature on that copy. Ben Pryor was well known for operating and owning the mechanical workshop and fuel business that was along and operated next to the park along Bailey Street for over 50 years. He was an avid prospector and also held a lease on the Lord George mine at Gibraltar. While prospecting in the area, Ben gathered a large collection of mining and farming equipment that have become the centrepieces of our park here today. These items have now been restored and they pay tribute to our rich mining heritage. The restoration and preservation of each item in this park will enable the story of Coolgardie to be shared for generations to come. We were also able to produce a replica of the famous Jack Carran's camp from the 3 Mile Hill into the park. This is complete with the original dry blower and the wheelbarrow that Jack used to push the dirt and put it in through the wheelbarrow. Beyond restoration, the project has included the installation of new pathways, a fantastic new nature playground, construction of a gazebo and the installation of metal interpretation plaques so visitors can learn more about our story. And of course the iconic camel and the rider representing one of Australia's most famous explorers, Ernest Giles, and the statue of Warden Finnerty that have been restored to their former glory. I would like to acknowledge the dedication and hard work of many of our community members, our non-profit organisations who donated many hours of their time to this project. A big thank you to Wayne Bird and the team from the Coolgardie Men's Shed, the Esperance Men's Shed, the children and staff from Caps Currawong and Coolgardie Primary Schools, Focus Minerals, Medak, Owen Dalglish, Ryan Kippen, Vern Potter, Victor Churchill Dale, and members of the Cullen family. Can you give them a big round of applause, please? I would just like to add that Vern Potter's skill and patience in the restoring of these statues is being greatly appreciated, and it took us, I think, 2 years to track him down to be able to get him to come along to help us complete those, and we are hoping to get the other 3 done in the corner in the next 12 months, so that will really set the park on. I'd also like to sincerely thank our contractors on this project, especially Stu and the boys from Nature Playground, who recognised the importance of this park to our community, and nothing was ever too much to ask them while they were working in the site. Thank you also to Peter from PMH Electrical, Future Security and Lighting for the installation of CCTV, and Robert, our tree lopper in Coolgardie now, for the park tree surgery, which you've done a great job. Our corporate partners, Evolution Mining. I'd especially like to thank Evolution, who provided significant funding for this project. Thank you for your investment in our community history. Without your generosity, this restoration project would not have been possible. I'd also like to mention and acknowledge a couple of Evolution staff who have since moved on to greener pastures. However, whilst they were here in our shire, they supported and were involved in our community projects, one such as being Ben Pryor Park. They were Andrew Miller, our previous GM out at Mungari, and Diane Newell was the Community Relations Officer. And with their help, we started the planning of Ben Pryor Park. I'd now like to invite Mungari General Manager Greg Walker from Evolution to come up and say a few words on behalf of Evolution. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Michael. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're on and their elders, past, present and emerging. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate everyone involved, Malcolm, your team, for what you have created here. This is a fantastic project and well done. I've only been with Evolution for about 2 years, but I've only been at Mungari for about 3 months. The first time that I drove through Coolgardie was on my way to Kalgoorlie a little over nearly 21 years ago, and I got instructions on how to get to Kalgoorlie. The last bit of the instruction was that you go through a little old mining town called Coolgardie that is a bit of a ghost town, and my recollection of it back then was pretty similar to that. But I got back here about 3 months ago, and I drove through the town, and certainly what impressed on me was that Coolgardie these days is anything but a ghost town. Driving through the main street, it looks absolutely fantastic, and that's a real credit to the Shire, Malcolm, James, all your teams, but also the whole community in Coolgardie for creating what Coolgardie is today. So well done. Woo! One of the things that I like about working for a mining company is that you get to live in regional towns and in and around them like Coolgardie, and get to contribute to their prosperity and success. Working for Evolution is certainly a company that does contribute to the success of the communities in which we operate. So it's a great company to work for. But I feel really privileged to work at Mungari. There's a team out there of inspired, committed, passionate people that really enjoy contributing to these sort of events and these sort of projects. So I really do feel privileged to be working there. And I'm looking forward to working closely with the Shire of Coolgardie moving forward to keep growing this community and working towards this future prosperity. Once again, well done for what you've achieved here, and thank you.
Thanks so much, Greg. And I heartened by your words, and I sincerely hope that Evolution will continue to invest and support in all types of community projects and activities into the future. Very much appreciated. While Ben Pryor Park is also a destination for local community to explore and enjoy, we also anticipate that the newly renovated park will encourage and entice many of the 400,000 vehicles that travel through Coolgardie annually, and hopefully stop, stay a while and contribute to our town's economy. Ben Pryor Park is an important part of the Shire's overarching strategic tourism plan for 2021 and 23, which was adopted by Council in December. This plan has been developed with the aim to diversify the local economy, grow tourism, visitation and maximise the tourism contribution to the Shire's economy in the future. Since COVID-19, we have seen many West Australians looking locally for their holidays and leisure experiences. The plan will assist the Shire in capitalising this unique opportunity as it continues to operate and develop and improve the region's tourism offerings and attractions. Today, I am proud to release the Shire of Coolgardie Strategic Tourism Plan for 2021 and 23. Special thank you to Ali Kent from Compass Consulting, who we have with us today, for assisting. Thank you, Ali. For assisting the Shire's Economic Development Team with the creation of the plan. I'd also like to acknowledge the effort from councillors, staff and the input from our community that has assisted with the development of this tourism plan. Paper copies are available from the Shire booth, or please feel free to grab a copy or the free USB with the plan uploaded. Just like before we close, I'd just like to call Nancy Harrison, to the stage. Nancy is Ben Pryor's daughter, and we also have her husband Jack and grandson Graham and granddaughter Diane with us today. So really put your hands together for making the effort to come back and share with us today.
Thank you. This will be very brief, but my dad died 32 years ago. He was very passionate about Coolgardie, and he also had great respect for the people of the town. In 1937 he became a Justice of Peace for the Coolgardie Magisterial District, and to show the sort of person Ben was, when motorists from over east would call in for fuel, he'd bound out and greet them, shake their hands and welcome them to the west. But over the years, the Eastern States drivers would complain about the dusty conditions as they drove across the Nullarbor. That road was unsealed until 1976. With all of this in mind, Ben set to and built hot and cold showers and a car wash. These were both free for the motorist to use. To me, that sums up the sort of person he was. Sorry. To everyone involved in this restoration, my sincere thanks. You've done a brilliant job.
Thank you, Nancy, and I can understand your feelings. Ben was a great man in Coolgardie, and he was very generous, as you say. And I remember as a young boy and a young man growing up in Coolgardie, the treasures that Ben had in the back of that shop. He had all sorts of artefacts and gifts that he used to say, and it was great to be able to go and have a yarn with Ben during the day. Also today, please feel free to enjoy our park and also pass on your experiences to your friends. As I said earlier, the girls will come around if you want a coffee or a drink of water, and Nancy will be available to have a yarn as well later on throughout the day and sign your books. Also, I'd like to ask you, please join in with Vic Dale, our local poet and historian. We're also blessed to have someone like Vic's quality in Coolgardie to be able to relay the history to people that have been coming through. And Vic also does guided tours, often in Coolgardie, to share our history. First guided tour will start at 11 o'clock. So please make sure you're on the wagon and certainly hear the history that Vic has got to say. So I'd like to finish up by thanking everyone, especially the travellers that have come. We've got a lot of faces, old and new, and I think it's people often take the opportunity to come back to Coolgardie to reminisce with their friends. Great to see so many faces. Thank you all for coming today, and just like to wish you well. Artie. Artie Miller, the long-term resident of Coolgardie. Oh wow, he's got a cutout of Diane as an 18-year-old, totally deaf girl from South Perth, following to a lesser degree the footsteps of her idol, deaf model Jean Marley, now Mrs. John Cope. The girl is Margaret Pryor, who, like Jean, attended deaf school in Providence Park. Margaret, I think, might have the wrong one. This one's Diane. But anyway, it's all part of the family. So it's Diane's aunties. So it's definitely part of the family. Well done, Artie. Good. Once again, we have more history of Coolgardie. Thank you.